Olympic medalist as well as doubles champion. From Pit Norfolk, we're now not calling ourselves Pitty, right? We've been buddies now since we've been here, enjoying the tennis. Your commentary has been excellent. How have you been thinking about where this final has led up to and what the prospects are for today?
Yes, we've got Tikhonová playing against Glushko. That's going to be a tough match. Unfortunately, yesterday in the semi-finals we had that withdrawal, which was rather unfortunate against Tikhonová. But that could be to the advantage or disadvantage, just depending on the level that the girls bring to the courts today. But I think we're going to look forward to a great match. Both players are young, they're up and coming. And they both have had a really good tournament so far, beating a couple of good seeds on the way. So I think it's going to be a great match.
So it's going to be a great matchup as well of these two tennis players. Also, if you look at the conditions today, very cool compared to the usual harsh African sun that we're known for. What kind of tennis can we expect?
Yes, when the sun comes out and it gets really hot, the ball tends to fly a lot. We are playing in high altitude, so then the conditions get really fast and the players have to adjust to that. But today it's a bit more cloudy, and I know it's raining in some areas around there, and we might have some rain later today. But that'll definitely slow the conditions down today and the play as well. So the consistent players would feel they have a bit of an advantage in these conditions. So consistency could play a role in the outcome of this match today.
So we've seen the fans trickling in. It is the final. We're expecting a lot more. Do you think perhaps this is such a great opportunity for tennis in the country, not just women's tennis, but to allow even more fans to allow themselves to appreciate this level of tennis?
Yes, it's an amazing tournament, and just to be part of it, even when we come out here every day, Tikkies is such a great venue. They hosted a $25,000 event last year with great success. Tennis South Africa, the ITF, the Tix Tennis Centre, everybody, they've put up such a great tournament this year, and to be part of that is amazing. The fans are coming out, they're going to enjoy it. Our young players, a couple of players that obviously got a few wild cards, some of our local players played the qualifying. That's just a great opportunity for them to be around and see what these pros play like, and hopefully that'll help them as they go into the future in their own careers.
Got to put you on the spot. Who's your money on, Tikhonová or Glushko?
Wow, you see, we saw just a little bit of Tikhonová in that one set, and it wasn't really a great test, seeing that the opponent had an injury. So it's very difficult to tell. But the way Tikhonová played, I really liked the way she played. And where Glushko is an extremely aggressive player with a very big first serve. Now, if that first serve goes in, she's going to be difficult to beat. But if it doesn't go in, she's going to have a long day. So it's tough to go. Let me call Tikhonová, but it's a 50-50.
All right, indeed, it's going to be an evenly balanced encounter today between these two tennis rising stars. And you know what? Earlier on, we spoke to the president of Tennis South Africa. We caught up with him to find out about the exciting things happening in women's tennis. Gavin Crooks, president of South Africa and tennis, welcome. Great to see that the ITF $60,000 tournament is such a win for women's tennis, as well as for Tennis South Africa hosting such an acclaimed event.
Absolutely, particularly for ladies tennis in South Africa, that I think has been a little bit lost for a while. Looking to regenerate it in that area, and it's very much part of Tennis South Africa's gender equality drive, supported admirably by the International Tennis Federation, that has a whole lot of programs out there at the moment to encourage and look towards encouraging gender equality. So yeah, to have a tournament of this stature, not only in South Africa, but in fact in Africa, is a huge win for ladies tennis, without any question.
It's also a huge win for fans who get to see the tennis, with the president bringing down the lockdown level 1, which means fans can also come and enjoy watching tennis. I mean, I was driving past here, I remember looking at the tennis courts, and it was full with kids playing tennis.
Absolutely, it's really great to see the restrictions starting to be lifted as COVID retracts. And yes, it's all about developing role models, and for the kids to be able to see role models to whom they can aspire, and to see this level of tennis in South Africa, and particularly, as I've indicated already, from ladies. is great, because we really need more ladies to play tennis in South Africa, no question about it.
And to amplify just the fans being here at the event, you also have a great media partnership. This being televised is also an exceptional way of promoting tennis throughout the country.
Absolutely, you know, with Vision View and the like being here, it's really great, and getting out there. As I've said to you, it's about exposure, it's about developing role models, it's about players being able to look up to top class players, and we've got some top class players here, and we've also got some of our top ladies from South Africa playing here. So it's a win-win for everybody. It's really great.
Definitely, and we're definitely going to have some winners today. Can we have a similar tournament again next year?
I think it's most likely, can I say, between Tennis South Africa and the International Tennis Federation and a number of our sponsors. We're very positive that this will become an annual event, and it's an absolute must for ladies tennis, without any doubt. So without saying too much, I'm saying we're here for a number of years to come. Looking very good, and from my side and from Tennis South Africa's side, very, very excited, without any doubt.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Well, what can I say? The wait is over. The day you've been waiting for has finally arrived. Today, we will crown a champion here. The ITF $60,000 US. And with that, we bring you great commentary with Piet Norville and Mike de Jong.
Well, good morning and welcome to the University of Pretoria. For our live coverage, it's the TUX International, part of the ITF World Tennis Tour. Of course, it's day 7. It's finals day. And we're looking forward to a fantastic singles match. And of course, the unseeded Lena Glushko, the Israeli, will be up against Anastasia Tikhanova, the number 6 seed from Russia. Sprinting up from courtside and now joining me up in commentary, as always, good morning, Piet Norville.
Morning, Mike. Great to be here on this special day. It's finals day of the 60,000. Yesterday we had a fantastic day, especially that first match that we saw with the semi-finals. They went all the way tight into the third set, and unfortunately there was that withdrawal in the second semi-finals by Zuger, which was unfortunate. So we didn't really get to see enough of Tikhanova, but the little bit we saw, she looked really good. So I think we're going to have a tough match today.
Yeah, she did look good, although there wasn't much resistance, but I liked what she was putting out on the court. She's going to be well tested today, and we'll see if it holds up under a little more pressure. Of course, on the other side, Lena Glushko yesterday surprised me. She really did. We know that she has a big game. We know that she's up and coming, and it says so by not being seeded, making it to the final. She has a very big serve, which as well, helps her a lot at altitude, gets her on the front foot. But I really thought that Miyazaki was going to win that one. It just looked like she was the more complete player, and the lady in picture was very impressive. Now she stuck to her guns, and once she settled down, she managed to work her way into the match, and in my opinion, a great win. It's going to be a good test for her, being in a final. Not being seeded, so she wouldn't have been in this position too often, so it should be a good contest. Pretty different weather conditions today, a little more overcast, slows things down just a touch. We're still at altitude, but it would be different than what they saw in the quarterfinals and the semi-finals.
Yes, very much so. I just mentioned that earlier when we spoke as well on the court. The conditions yesterday was quite warm, almost up to 30 degrees, and today it's much cooler, and there's a slight breeze as well, so the conditions will be different. It might favor Tikhanova just a little bit, being a more consistent player off the back of the court. That'll also make the big first serve of Glushko less aggressive and less effective, even though, having said that, she might be able to get a higher percentage of first serves in with these conditions, but it will play slower. Be nice for the viewer. We might see a couple of longer rallies compared to yesterday, but yes, it can go either way. Two different types of players.
I like what you said there about Glushko, because I think, yes, that she might lose 3, 4, 5 kilometers an hour on the first serve because the conditions are just a little heavier, but it might give her the opportunity to make a few more first serves. And because the serve is so big, you know that even in slow conditions, the guys that serve big, when they serve well, they're still a handful. So it might just help her to make more use of that first serve. And just looking at Tikhanova, I think Luchko is going to have to make a lot of first serve so that she can get on the front foot. Tikhanova is very solid from the baseline. She likes to dictate by working the ball around and getting herself on the front foot, and then looking for the big round stroke. Should be a good matchup all round.
Yes, I had the opportunity earlier to speak to the coach of Miyazaki. We mentioned him yesterday, Jeremy Bates. He's one of the top coaches from the UK. And just asking him how he felt about the opportunity Miyazaki had. You know, yesterday it was 6-3, 4-3 leading against Glushko. And they had that very long game that Miyazaki ended up losing, and she lost the match. We mentioned these very long, important games and what an effect it can have on the set and also the match. And the coach said that he hasn't been working with this player very long, just this week. He's been with her. Her actual coach is in the States at the moment, working with some of the other UK players at Miami, who play doubles and things over there. So yeah, we felt Miyazaki is a strong player, but she didn't really come through in those big moments yesterday. And if she had won that match, and if you look at the conditions today, she could have been favoured to actually win the tournament.
Yeah, I think you said it well, that you actually asked the question early in the match. We were discussing why Miyazaki wasn't higher in the world rankings, and it seems like when it mattered most, she had a trust issue. There was doubt, and just enough for Glitchko to pick that up and come through. Tikhanova, speaking of coaches, her coach is mother of Andrei Rublev, been ranked as high as number 5 on the ATP World Tour. So a lot of experience coming through. You touched on it yesterday, Pidi. The Russian mothers, there have been many over the last 20-30 years, and they brought many great players through the ranks, and we've seen them through the years, and Tikhanova in a great position with such a qualified and experienced coach. Gluchko will serve first. It's the final.
Yeah, a really nice first point.
Last 15.
Maybe the way that we're gonna see the pattern of the match today. Glushko is going to be looking to be aggressive and try to end the point, whereas Tikhanova will be trying to lengthen the point. Actually, a really nice first opening point there for any match, not about a 10-point rally.
15 all.
How many times have we seen that serve in the semi-finals? It's one that she absolutely owns. It's the big flat first serve out wide, one that several girls don't serve that well. So something that Tikhanova is going to have to figure out quite quickly.
Fault. Yes. 30-15.
Yeah, surprising the previous point, Mike, that Tikhanova wouldn't sit in that serve. You know, if she'd done her homework a little bit, she'd know that maybe 3/4 of the serve at least are going out wide there on the ad court.
Let second serve.
Yeah, and Pidi, already we've seen the way this match is going to go. That very first point told us that Tikhanova is just rock solid. She's going to work it around. She's very comfortable in these conditions where Gluchko is looking to attack, and she's going to have to be very careful how she goes about that.
Yeah, it's tough to call what we might see through the course of this match. Glushko surprised us already yesterday with hanging in there and playing against a similar type of player. Well, let's say a consistent player, which Tikhanova is another of today. You immediately think Tikhanova would have the edge, but Glushko, you know, she's surprised us before, and she might again today.
They said that just looking at things, you'd expect Tikhonova through the match just to have too much, but we thought that yesterday. Klitschko found the answers. That's a nice return, just sitting on the
40.
wide one and getting a good first hit in. And I think that's going to be key in this match. Behind the return, especially off second serves, and then the first ground stroke behind first serves. That's where the match is going to be won and lost. You want to get the first punch in.
Oh, that's a great 1-2 play. That's her bread and butter, Klitschko's, and really executing that nice low forehand, which isn't easy for her. She's a really tall player, for her to get down to that shot, but very well executed. Back to deuce.
Yeah, those are two good serves, and you
Klitschko.
touched on it, Pidi, on that break point. She made the big first serve, and Tikhonova read it, but couldn't do much with it. So even knowing that she was coming that way, we'll see how that develops. Another good one down the tee. Where does she go this time? Yeah, that's a pity. That was another good first serve. Just didn't get up to the ball quick enough, and the ball just dropped down, to knee height. And when it gets down to knee height, you'll see the challenge here is to you're so close to the net, which means you can't go too high because the court becomes really short as you move forward. Back to deuce.
Advantage, Klitschko.
Another good serve. That serve could be the big weapon today for Klitschko. If she gets a lot of first serves in and gets to place it well, that could be the difference between winning and losing.
Game.
Well, that's a
Klitschko.
rock solid service game by Lena
First game.
Klitschko, unseeded Israeli. She holds serve, well tested in that game, but she takes the lead. 1-love. Biddy, I'd almost venture to say that Klitschko is going to have to serve well. It's not negotiable. We've seen how the points have developed, and already that game had a couple of deuce adds in them, and she served quite well in that game. Tikhonova is a good returner, and the minute she gets into the point, you have to favor her consistency, because she doesn't just roll the ball in the court, she hits it with decent pace, good depth. So I think that pattern has been established. There will be pressure on the Klitschko serve. She has to serve well. Tikhonova has an opportunity to show what she's got, and she serves at love 1. It's the opening set of the Tix International final.
$50
Good start to the game. The importance of the first point of each game, especially early in the match when there's still a little bit of nerves. 15-love.
Let for serve.
Solid point from both players. Tikhonova ending up with that nice short forehand, but Klitschko doing a great job of staying in that rally.
I guess in Klitschko's head, she's thinking, what more does she have off the ground? She showed it all there. She had some flat drives, short angles, and Tikhonova is just like, is that the best you got? And she keeps using her defensive game to turn it into offense. Great point by Tikhonova, 30-love.
$40
Yeah, and that is a reaction that you saw there. Klitschko feels like she needs to go after the second serve. She needs to get a bigger first return in, or the first shot needs to be bigger. And that led to a mistake. And that's always the battle that you have. How far do you push it before you start giving points away too easily?
Game,
What a
Tikhonova.
solid first service game by Tikhonova. It's 1-all.
1 game all.
Beginning of the match, and Tikhanova looking very, very solid. Yeah, that's absolutely correct, Mike. That fine balance between going for a lot, which Glushko knows she has to do through the course of the match, and then maybe in the process making too many mistakes. So she's going to try and find that balance.
Love 15.
Oh, we spoke about the slice yesterday. We saw that in the previous match with Miyazaki, having a great slice, especially on the backhand side. There you see the taller Glushko trying to do the same thing, but not as easy for all players.
Yeah, Glushko was exposed a few times when they got into slice rallies. Miyazaki with a top-notch slice. There we go.
Love
That's
30.
what we said. The second serve's going to be a massive, play a massive role today, and Tikhanova stepping on that one, not overhitting it, but getting good pace into a corner, stretching her opponent, and that then puts her on the front foot. I think we're going to see several points down that same pattern.
15-30.
That is just a rocket launcher of a serve, and Glushko definitely knows that she's going to have to hit quite a few of those today. She's got to probably hit 60%. If she gets up to 70%, she's got a good chance.
Yeah, and that was a big one at love 30, under pressure immediately.
30 all.
I must say, I like that return that Tikhanova is using when the really big serve comes in. She just holds the racket firm, just meets it, blocks it, decent pace, but gets good depth and challenges Glushko to come up with a big ground stroke. The lady in picture's got great wheels, and she's got a great sense of defense. She knows how to cover the court and get back into the point. So she's going to try and get as many of these big serves back in play.
Yeah, just an
40,
unforced
30.
error there at 30 all. Obviously not meant to do that, but that is the type of situation Tikhanova is trying to create for herself. She's trying to get in the point and force the area, but 40-30 to Glushko. Good comeback this game so far.
We're going to watch this second serve, see how this plays out, because Tikhanova is looking to take advantage of second serves. And there we go. She tries to get good depth. She's not overhitting it, but a great depth. Puts Glushko on the back foot straight away, and I think that's going to put a lot of pressure on the Glushko first serve, knowing that if she misses, and it's not about Tikhanova hitting winners, she just hits a really solid return, and she feels like if she's in a rally, she has the edge.
Fault. Advantage to
That was a
Tikhanova.
good call, good overrule by the chair umpire. It did look slightly long.
Yeah, and simultaneously the linesman yelled and put his hand out as well. So it was a late-ish call, but two people saw it the same way, and I think it's the correct call. It's break point.
Game.
Well, back-to-back
Tikhanova.
doubles. And we said it at the top of this match. There
Tikhanova
will
leads
be a lot of pressure
2
on that
games to
serve.
1 first set.
And she knows she cannot just roll it in. So she went for a little extra back-to-back double faults, and it's the number 6 seed, Anastasia Tikhanova of Russia, picks up the first break. She leads 2 games to 1.
Tikhanova looking very impressive at the moment. She's a great athlete. You can see that she probably wins a lot of her matches with her athletic ability, getting to a lot of tough shots, and that's needed today. And so far, early in the match, she's already proven and shown us the way she's going to play. It's going to be up to Glushko to counter that with her aggressive style of play. But it won't be easy. The conditions are heavy today in Pretoria. It's very cloudy and kind of coolish, and that favors the more consistent play a little bit. Glushko really needs to step up on that percentage of first serve. She needs to get a lot of them in. When it goes in, she wins most of the points. But a great matchup we have today, and we're looking forward to a great contest.
I think what's been most impressive for me is that Tikhanova has been settled from the first point. She likes the stage, she likes where she is, she's not overwhelmed, where we've seen Glushko a little bit up and down to start with, but it was the same yesterday, so we'll give her a few minutes to settle down and see if she can find her rhythm. Tikhanova, upper break, 2-1.
15-love. Let first serve. Love.
Well, Tikhanova just continuing with absolute consistency. At this stage, just doing everything right. She's making a lot of first serves, she's making a lot of returns, and when there's half an opportunity, she's hit the ground strokes to perfection. And just like that, races to a 40 love.
That's a more positive point by Glushko. Tikhanova not making too many unforced errors at the moment. That's one of the very few that she's made. But comfortable still in control of this game at 40-15, trying to get ahead and secure the very important break that she had the previous game. Another good return by Glushko, just managing to apply a little bit of pressure on the Tikhanova serve.
Yeah, I think Glushko is just going to have to find that balance between not going for too much and just first getting into the rallies and then find her opportunities. Two quick unforced errors by Tikhanova. Unexpected to this point, I must say, but they were two good returns, and the lady in picture needs more of that. She needs to get into the rallies first and then pick her spots and opportunities to attack. I don't think she can just fire away from the first ball. Tikhanova's too solid, she puts the ball in good positions, and it'll be too risky to just pull the trigger at any given time. So 40-30.
It's game to Tikhanova, but Glushko absolutely doing the right thing by stepping in and being aggressive on the second serve. Well, even though on the first serve, but more positive game from Glushko, and Tikhanova will definitely start feeling the pressure if she doesn't get enough on her own serve. That's the only chance that Glushko has to possibly get that break.
I think she'll be very disappointed with that last forehand, but she actually got a mid-court ball. She had the inside out on the racket, and I reckon those are the ones she needs to make, as well as serve well. We've established that because Tikhanova is going to put pressure on the serve. So 1-3, and even early in the match, important for Glushko to hold serve. Holy cow!
Love 15.
That is just a fantastic return. When you decide to take that return up the line, it's never easy. That's the shorter part of the court, small target, but executed to perfection.
Yeah, it seems like
15
Tikhanova
all.
is starting to pick up on the Glitschko serve, like she's reading it. There's been a couple of really good returns where she's sitting on them. It's almost like she's waiting. Even this one, you'll see, she gets a good hit on it, and that was a good first serve. She's starting to read the serves by Glitschko.
Yeah.
Oh, great
That was in. No, that was before the line.
touch
No, no,
and
no.
feel
That was really good. No.
by Tikhanova
15,
moving forward.
30.
That's often a great play, is a drop shot on a drop shot or a shorter ball. But that looked really comfortably out, I must say. Glitschko does have a good point on querying that call.
15,
Yeah, those are the shots that
14.
we spoke about. She cannot afford to miss those. Again, the mid-court ball, she makes that. She's in charge. You'll see this, a real opportunity. This is mid-court, she's moving forward, and maybe that's the problem, not moving forward enough, kind of stuck on the baseline and waiting for the ball to come, but as it comes it drops, and then you need more topspin. So those are the points that she needs to capitalize on.
Game.
Oh, that's just an unforced error on the very important break point.
Tikhanova leads 4 games to 1.
Tikhanova getting the
First set.
second break of the match, taking a commanding lead with 4-1 serving.
Yeah, that was Mrs. Rublev right there. I'm not sure if in Russian she'll be a Rubleva. I'm not sure. Yeah, they usually have that female version of the surname. Safina, so she Rubleva. Nonetheless, she is happy with her charge at this stage. And again, she's played the point well. She gets up to net, she has a straightforward volley and then hands the point to her opponent. So there's been 3 or 4 points in the last 2 games where she finds the pattern and loses the point on final execution. And I think this match is going to be tough as it is. She cannot afford to not take opportunities like that. It's a double break. Anastasia Tikhanova, the number 6 seed, leads 4 games to 1.
Time.
Not completely different to yesterday, Pidi. Glitschko was a slow starter against Miyazaki as well and started finding her feet late-ish in the first, but really mid-second set is where she came through strong.
Yes, it's still relatively early days in the match. Tikhanova serving 4-1. Glitschko at the moment just struggling a little bit with execution. She gets herself in a great position in most of these rallies, but making too many unforced errors at the moment. A little bit of a wild second serve. Sometimes when you comfortably leading at 4-1 serving, the mind can start wandering. You can get a bit loose, as we saw there.
Yeah, it starts wandering, but you also start going to the finish line. You're like, well, kind of just keep doing what I'm doing and we'll get to 6-2, and that's kind of the set. But always got to be focused, always got to work hard. We'll see how she responds to that. Good players will then realize, hang on, I'm not as sharp as I need to be, and they'll come back quite strong.
Fault.
Yes,
15,
Tikhanova will be
30.
very aware of the importance of this match. There's a lot of WTA points that she can earn if she wins this match, way more than the finals, and that can have a huge improvement on her current ranking of 226 in the world. She can break the top 200, possibly go as high as 180, 190. So it's a very important match for her. So even though she's leading, she'll be aware of that.
Keep the ball on your hand. Yeah.
Yeah, and back-to-back double faults is not going to help her cause. You don't want to give one of those breaks back. That double break is a nice cushion to work off.
30 all.
Yeah, especially since we've seen what Glitschko can do yesterday. She was in trouble yesterday at 6-3, 4-3, break point down, but hung in there and came back to win the match. So Tikhanova will be aware of that and trying to put away if she can. Positive point by
40-30.
Tikhonova with great depth on those ground strokes, making it difficult for Glushko.
Yeah, and this is a game that she needs to get through. It's been a bit scrappy, it's been a bit iffy, but if she can close this one out, she'll find her rhythm again. And, it was a similar game yesterday at 4-3 in the second. Also a scrappy game, but finally Glushko got through and won it. And that's where her momentum started. So Tikhonova would like to make sure that she closes this out. An opportunity for a 5-1 lead.
Surprisingly, with 3 double faults, she's still in the game. Often if you serve maybe 2 double faults, definitely a third, the game would be over by now. It's just showing us how much she is in command. This is a relative game where the set can be secured if she does win this game. Otherwise, there's a big difference between 5-1 and 4-2. Wonderful playing by Glushko. She's putting in a great effort to hang in there in this first set. She's just earned herself a break point.
Yeah, it's quite similar to yesterday. It is a scrappy game, a couple of double faults by Tikhonova, now a missed forehand, pretty regulation ground stroke, and that's where Glushko got into it yesterday in the same way. So a small opportunity, it's a double break, but you get a break here, you hold confidently, and all of a sudden your opponent's thinking, whoa, this match is going the wrong way. A touch of luck will do it. That is massive for Lena Glushko. A little bit of luck off the leg cord, but she picks up the break. And she now trails by only 1 break, 4 games to 2. This could be big, Pity.
Yes, tennis has always got his twists and turns, and those were just one of them. Glushko seemingly almost out of this first set with possibly 5-1 down. Now suddenly it's 4-2 serving. If she can play a good game now, she's right back in it. Oh, that is just a great first serve. It looked like it hit the line. 15 love, Glushko. Big first serve once again, setting up the short ball. Another miss by Glushko. She's missed at least 5 or 6 of those already in this match.
Yeah, she's late in getting to the ball. That wasn't that bad, maybe just not getting the preparation as she moves forward. And that's often the problem. When players move forward really hard, they're a bit slow in getting the racket into position. Easier when you're going left to right. But those are the opportunities she has to take. That's much better.
There we go. She's made one of those short ones. That'll mean a lot to her confidence. That'll help her. Mike, I was just watching Glushko. You know, she had a really long match yesterday. I'm wondering physically if she's recovered properly coming into today. She looks slightly slower.
Yeah, and it's not just that match. You've got to look through all her matches of the week, you know, because it's a long week. And I see she had a walkover in the second round, so not too heavy through the week. So maybe just yesterday a little bit of leftover in the body.
Oh, great defense by Glushko. Just as we mentioned it, she's just showing us that she's got a bit of something left in the tank. And she's earned herself a game point.
And that's what you'd like to see as a coach. You'd like to see Glushko get in the trenches a little bit more. She's got the big serve and the big ground stroke, but she's got to get down and battle and fight and scrap and get the defensive game. Steal 1 or 2 points.
Game, Glushko.
And this is very good. That is a great hold for Glushko. She trails 3 games to 4. Opening set.
Yes, in Glushko's defense, yesterday, as well as what we've just seen the last two games, she really has the ability mentally to hang in there and keep herself in a set, whereas she was literally 1 point away possibly from losing that set, and now it's back to 4-3. And even though it's a Tikhonova serve, Tikhonova not really dominating on her serve games with her first serve. She kind of just makes it and tries to win the point from the back of the court. So Glushko is not going to be worried about being blown off the court by a very strong first serve. So Glushko is going to feel that she's right back in it with a chance in the set.
And you touched on it earlier. She was Tikhonova in picture was so close to a 5-1 lead, and that kind of seals the set. Unlikely that you're going to turn it around from there, but the lady in picture has found a way to put pressure on Tikhonova. Yes, she's still up a break, but there's no guarantee that the set is over.
Especially seeing that Tikhonova threw in three double faults that previous service game, and always when you've done that, you know, that sits in the back of your mind just a little bit as we get to the business end of the set.
Yeah, and it's just not pressure on the second serve. There's now pressure on the first serve because you don't want to serve too many second serves. So let's see how she goes. She still leads 4-3.
Good first serve. Glushko just missing slightly with her down the line, but that's the way she's going to play. She's got to go for a couple. Oh, that looked a little nervy.
The second serve hasn't been great the last 10 minutes with those three double faults. Now the lead court bringing a lot of pressure on this serve right now. Glushko cannot afford that. She needs to put every one of those second serves back into play. Just letting Tikhonova off the hook a little bit.
Yeah, got stuck with the feet.
Probably the area that Glushko can improve the most, I think, Pity, from watching yesterday and today, is that it's the finer art of footwork, getting into the best positions, not in good positions, getting into the best positions. Another double fault. Tall people cover the court really well, but that does not mean that they get into perfect positions on balance when they want to hit the ball. And just watching Glushko, she's pretty good left to right. She's not great moving forward. A, in identifying the short ball, and two, once she moves, she doesn't move effectively to the short ball. So actually a scary thought that she can get that much better. She already has the power, and it's always nice when you look at someone and know that this is not their ceiling. There's still more to come.
Yeah, she's a good player, and she's still young. She's 21 years old, and she's got a lot of years ahead of her. You know, it's not like it's 30 years ago where the players have got to break into the top 100, you know, when they're 17, 18, 19 years old. You know, these days the players are breaking in 24, 25. So she still has a couple of years left. She's 22 years old, and yeah, she's got a lot of weapons, and she will learn a lot. This is her first finals of a $60,000 event, so she will learn a lot from the experience, whichever way it goes.
Much better on that ball. You could see her get down low early. She didn't run up to the ball and then try and catch up to it. She was coming in off a low base. As we see the president of TSA, Derek Crooks, having a chat to tournament referee Ian Smith. Probably just telling each other what a fantastic week it was.
Ian Smith, the head of the referees in South Africa, as well as traveling overseas, very experienced, and yes, the president of Tennis South Africa, Gavin Crooks, having a chat, and they've really done a great job with this event. They've partnered the ITF and also the Tux Tennis Center, where we're at the moment. Beautiful venue.
Yeah, good point. I just turned Gavin into a great cricketer. I'm sure he'd be happy with that. But other than a good cricketer, he's been a great tennis administrator. So apologies there, Gavin.
Juice.
Great serve, just saving the break point.
Yeah, big point that. 4-3, you were up 4-1 with opportunities to go 5-1. And she was 1 point away from getting it to 4-all. So massive momentum point and game at this stage.
Thank you.
Big
Advantage
pressure
to Monova.
serve there just by making it. Glushko not getting down for that ball. It did seem like that second serve shot through a little bit, and not the hardest of serves, but it stayed low. And Glushko being an extremely tall player, she needs to get down there in order to get underneath the ball, which she didn't quite master that time. Advantage Tikhanova.
You see, and this game is very similar to that Miyazaki 4-3 game yesterday. It's many mistakes, tight playing. They both realize where they are in the match, and we saw the nervy second serve return on the deuce because there's pressure on making that second serve, but there's also pressure on making the second serve return. There are opportunities both ways right now, and again a second serve at deuce.
Advantage Tikhanova.
Another opportunity for Tikhanova to take a 5-3 lead. Advantage. And it's a second forehand where it looks like she's just standing up on the shot a little bit. You can't afford that in high altitude. If you do that, the ball will fly on you. And these players not quite familiar with high altitude tennis, and if there's no pressure then it's fine. They can tend to play the shots the way they like, but when they come under pressure, if you don't fully commit to the shot, you'll just fly it out the back, as we've seen her already do twice in the last 3 or 4 points. Back to deuce.
And it's often when you're a little nervy, your body gets a little tighter and you struggle to release the racket, you stand up on everything. So both players a little tight at this stage.
Well, that was just a wonderful point by both players, actually. Both of them stayed in the rally quite long, and Tikhanova, being the stronger player off the back of the court, just getting the better of the opponent. And she earns herself a third game point to take a 5-3 lead. Currently leading 4-3 serving. Glushko's had a couple of opportunities this game as well. And she does exactly that. Great effort by Tikhanova to mentally hang in there. She was under pressure with a few of those second serves. If we recall the 3 double faults that she made in the previous game, she was under pressure and she handled that really well. She takes a lead 5-3, Tikhanova.
It's the Russian that wins the arm wrestle for momentum. And what a key game that was, just to prevent Glushko from coming back all the way. 3-5.
15-love.
I love that little fist bump by Glushko after the big serve. She knows this is not all over. If she can hold serve and put all the pressure on Tikhanova to serve it out. She has been iffy on that second serve. Who knows? The set is not over, but Glushko needs to hold serve first.
15 all. There.
Again, just not getting down to it quick enough. Pity touched on it. Every time Tikhonova gets the ball to go through the surface, and you'll see this. This is the shot right here. Just shoots through, and she just a fraction late in getting down. 15 all.
Yeah, those Tikhonova ground strokes are very hard and flat, difficult to handle.
$15-13.
Another unforced error by Glushko. 15-30. Tikhonova getting close to the end of the set.
Again there, Pity, just getting stuck on the baseline. The return was short and coming through, but she got stuck on the baseline, reaching forward to try and get under it. And again, just a little exposed in movement. Where the lady in picture, of course, has got great footwork. 15-30.
Oh, that's a better 1-2 by the Israeli player.
But watch the positioning here. I think this is much better on her side of the court. You'll see this. She moves up to this ball. Look where she is. She's 2 meters inside the baseline, which then allows her to set and hit, not reach, and try and flick it with the left hand. Pressure point that she won there, 30 all. And a massive big serve. Look at that first pump. She is liking that.
She's already mixed up her serve a bit better today, Mike, compared to yesterday with the deuce T serve versus the wide. She's thrown a couple of wide ones as well, so that just creates the doubt in the opponent's mind. 40-30. Game point.
Yes.
Well, very unfortunate timing for the double fault. Gets this lady in picture back to within 2 points of closing out the opening set.
Advantage Glushko.
That is surprising. You don't often see Tikhonova late on the second serve return. Credit to Glushko, got a little extra on this one and it shot through, and you can just see that arm holding. She didn't get through it in time. She's a little late in contact, or couldn't close it. Good second serve and an opportunity to force her opponent to serve it out.
Yes.
Pity has touched on this several times, that she's slowing getting down. That was a good return, very deep. And you could see as she was playing the ball, she was still on her way down.
Yeah, great return. Back to deuce. Glushko just trying to hang in there. Oh, great 1-2 again, going behind the opponent this time. Always a great tactic against the good movers, playing behind their back.
Again, watch the movement. As she hit this, she's moving through the ball. There's no setting and then reaching out to it. Look at it, moving through it all the way, and then just using the wrist to generate the little bit of spin she needs. Super point.
Good return by Tikhonova.
Yes.
This is becoming one of those long, decisive games. Tikhonova trying to finish the set here, knowing that if she had to serve for the set, it would be difficult. She's trying to finish it right here. Glushko trying to keep the pressure on. Another good first serve by Glushko, gaining herself another advantage.
It's a tough game for Glushko, but the reverse of this is if she does hold, then Tikhonova feels like there was an opportunity to finish it. It wasn't necessary to serve it out. Now I have to serve it out. So there's a bit of a shift in mental confidence, if you like. So this is still very big for Glushko. She went to her favorite serve.
Game,
That is a
Glushko.
very, very big
New
hold
ball,
for the
please.
young Israeli. Lina Glushko manages to hold serve, not without a struggle. But
Tikhonova
she's
leads.
going to force the
5
number
games to
16,
4.
Anastasia Tikhanova, to serve out the first set. Impressive, Pity, the way that she just, I guess the best way is just stuck around. She just hasn't gone away.
Yes, we saw some of this yesterday as well by Glushko. This is a great character that she has. She never goes away. She's been in trouble a few times in various sets that we've seen her play, and each time she just finds a way to get in there, just applies a little pressure on the opponent, and keeps herself alive in the set. Tikhanova will be coming out serving, and it wouldn't be as easy with her last couple of service games being really close and tight. She's got a little bit of work ahead of her now and to try and finish out this first set. Mike, just the observation with Glushko, we've mentioned sometimes the lack in footwork that she's had. It does seem that when she's serving on the ad court, that she, coming out of the serve, she finds herself in a slightly better position compared to the deuce, seeing that on the deuce court you're coming out of the serve and you've got to move slightly to your left to create space. And if she's slightly slow in doing that, she gets stuck there on the right-hand side of the court, being out of position.
Tikhanova serves for the first set, 5-4.
Out. 15
Always
out.
nice to serve with new balls. They've had a ball change, and that helps when you're serving for the set. You just get an extra bit of zip on that serve. It shoots through on the opponent, as we saw in that last point.
Yeah, just for those of you that don't know, it's 9 games and then 11 after that. Of course, 9 games because they use these balls to warm up, and they count the warm up as 2 games. So 9 games, 5-4 would be a change, and then every 11 games from here until the match is concluded.
Well, that was a tentative shot by
15 all.
Tikhanova. She had the opportunity, she had the short ball, and didn't quite get herself settled for that shot.
She showed a little nerves earlier. She's done it here again, where especially off the forehand. You'll see that she moves up nicely. The footwork's fine, but she pulls up on it, gets a little tight on the release of the shoulders get pulled up, and there's no loose release of the racket, and it just shows a little bit of tension. More so on the forehand than the backhand. Something we'll just keep an eye on throughout this match. 15-all.
Mike, as you would know, the different
30,
countries,
15.
the players tend to have strengths and weaknesses. Players from countries, now the Russians, they've always been known for their good two-handed backhands over the years, and I believe it's the case with Tikhanova as well. Their forehands are not bad, but the backhands they preferred, especially under pressure.
Yeah, the backhands are really good. There's another example. That is a regulation forehand, which 4 games ago, she would have just hit it into the forehand corner. And you can just see there's just that little tightness in the upper body, and there's no rotation, no release of the racket head, which on the backhand side you won't see that. And of course, Rod Laver was famous for saying the backhand's the easiest shot in tennis, because once the racket is taken back, the shoulders have turn. On the forehand, not so. You can take the racket back and still be totally square to your opponent. And maybe that's where, when you get a little tight, the shoulders don't turn effectively, and it's just their hand coming through. 30-all, big point. She's got herself a break point,
30,
PD.
40.
This is getting exciting.
Yeah, for the second game in a row, she's gotten herself into that position. Glushko just a genius in getting herself in a position where she can still hang in there. Big point for Glushko, trying to even the match.
Game,
Wow.
Glushko.
I tell you what, PD, the whole set, she's
5 games all.
absolutely been scrapping to stay in there, and then on break point, the biggest break point of this match, she launches a backhand down the line. without hesitation. You'll see this. She sees the opportunity, and that's what we thought we'd see more of. That's her style of play, but she's had to hang in there and battle. It's a massive break for the young Israeli, 5 games on. So pity just taken over in her mind. I mean, she could have been 6-2, 3-1 up at this stage. And all of a sudden she finds herself in a massive battle. And we see more unforced errors, little tightness, maybe feeling it that this is getting away from her.
No.
What does she do now to find her rhythm again?
Well, she's going to mentally have to buckle down and feel it's still 5-all. You got to watch the scoreline. You know you've been ahead, but you got to get that out of your mind and almost restart
15-all.
and get yourself settled down and realize, okay, I'm not 4-1 up and possibly 5-1. It's 5-all. I'm still okay, and just get on with the battle. Maybe stay in the moment. Think 1 point at a time. Rather instead of worrying about what's happened to you up until this stage. Obviously easier said than done, but that's the way she's going to have to think.
Yeah, rather
15-30.
focus on the opportunities ahead rather than looking at what has got away. She's 5-all and 15-30. She has an opportunity to break again here. Building pressure on the Glushko serve.
30-all.
Oh, that's a massive serve, and you can't blame Tikhonova for covering the big one wide. Glushko changes it up and comes straight down the tee. What a big serve at 15-30.
One of the biggest points coming up of the set right here. Another great serve by Glushko.
40-30.
It's been a long while since I've seen a player play the big points as well as Glushko has the last 2 days. And once again, just showing us there that she can come up with that big serve at 30-all. She's gotten herself a game point, possibly be ahead for the first time in this match. Unforced error, just standing up. Glushko back to deuce.
These last 3 games have just been nip and tuck. It just seems like every point is so important. No one really dominating in their service games. It's been a battle.
Fantastic rally, both players. Glushko really building the point, and she looks more comfortable on those short balls, especially in the forehand side. Almost caught herself late on that one, but great point. Glushko getting more solid off the back of the court as the set has gone along.
Yeah, Glushko almost beating Tikhonova at her own game in that point. You almost feel the longer the rally goes, the better the chances of Tikhonova becomes. Not that time around, and it's an opportunity to take the lead for the first time.
Yep.
Just misses the big first serve.
Let's second serve. Game, Glushko.
Glushko winning the very important
Glushko leads.
5-all game.
6 games to
She
5.
takes the lead for the first time with a 6-5 lead. It's going to be interesting to see how these rallies unfold if we had to get to a tiebreaker. The difference between winning and losing the set very, very small at the moment. It's just going to be up to the player that can play their best tennis on the big points as we get closer to the tiebreak.
Yeah, complete turnaround. 25 minutes ago, there was no ways you were going to convince me that Luchko would be 6-5 up in the opening set, maybe the second set. Tikhanova was in total control, 4-1, with opportunities to go 5-1. Didn't happen. The young Israeli just wouldn't go away. Got in the trenches, hung in there, and well done to her. She's now leading 6-5, and all the pressure is back on the number 6 seed, Anastasia Tikhanova. Well, Anastasia Tikhanova is stepping up to serve. For the first time in this match, she trails. She serves to stay in the first set, 5-6.
Really good second serve by Tikhanova. Glushko actually sat on that and made a positive return. Just the lucky let cord. She'll be very happy with that. That very, very important first point of the game that you're looking for. Takes the pressure off. You're obviously playing from ahead instead of behind. Another double fault by Tikhanova. Got that double fault count up to about 6 or 7 already this set. She's put herself in a lot of pressure with these double faults.
At this stage, her second serve, Pidi, is very much a lotto.
Another one coming. That is just a phenomenal shot concerning the
15,
set
30.
and the importance of that point. She just stepped in, hit it, and Glushko just seems to be getting better and better as this match gets along.
And she thought this was going long and this clipped the line. She somehow got it back in play. And then turns defense into massive offense. What a backhand inside out. Look at her getting down to that one nicely.
And she's
15,
got herself 2
40.
set points. Yeah, it's just amazing what Glushko can do. She's an amazing fighter. We've seen her do it yesterday, and she's on the verge of doing it again. Double set point, Glushko.
I'm not sure to
That's
tell.
hard done by. Good first serve, just called wide. No Hawkeye here.
Dirty 40.
That was an unfortunate miss by Glushko. She had the court, she had the player moving to the other side, and she had the open court. She just had to make it, and unfortunately missed. But she does have another set point.
Just late on the prep again as she's moving forward, Pidi. We've seen that she struggles to stay low, and when she does move forward, the racket goes with her. She doesn't get the racket back in time. That'll do it. This is
Game,
an unbelievable
first set,
comeback
Glushko.
by Lena Glushko.
7 games to 5.
Unseeded Israeli, 4-1 down, almost going 5-1 down. Turns this first set around. And she manages to claim the first set, 7 games to 5. Pity, that was a massive mental turnaround, because that's all it was. She just refused to go away. and found a way back into the set, and all kudos. We saw a little bit of it in the second set yesterday against Miyazaki. She's done it today in the first set.
Yeah, huge mental effort. This young Glushko just keeps on impressing us with the ability to fight and to stay in these tough situations.
Well, you can see there that Glushko wins 9 out of 10 points when making the first serve. What she'd not be happy with is that she's under 50%. Tikhanova's first serve went south the second half of the first set, and maybe that's why she allowed Glushko back. Both these players would like to raise that first serve percentage to around 60-65%. Unforced errors, not much in it. And as you can see, total points truly reflects a 7-5 set.
Yeah, that unforced error count is rather high from both players, Mike, and that would be a worry for both players. They'll try and keep that number down as we move into the second set. But that was more of a mental set compared to using your shots and anything else. If we look back at what happened, we had Tikhanova 4-1 up, double break with game point for a 5-1 lead. That'll sit in the back of the mind, and it wouldn't sit pretty.
Yeah, it was a close first set. Glushko pulls it through. She has an opportunity to serve first
serve.
in the second.
Love.
Yeah, quite important for Glushko to get off to a good start. She doesn't want to put herself in the same position that she did in the first. Fighting all that way from 4-1 down also takes mental strain. So an opportunity for her to have a better start in the second and put the pressure firmly on Tikhanova. Yeah, that unforced error count is a bit high. We saw many games where they were playing great tennis, but it would be one really good point and then an unforced error to get it back to 15-all, and so they went on. So both of them would like to keep the good side there. There were some really good points in there, but they really want to cut back on the freebies that they were handing out to their opponents. 15-all.
Yeah, Mike, I think especially from Tikhanova's side, the way she plays, she'd be disappointed how that unforced error count went up, especially in the second half of that first set.
Yeah, and I think her style of play, she's not that powerful. She's powerful enough, but she's not as powerful as Glushko. So when she gives away a lot of unforced errors, she's not going to make it up with 10 winners, clean winners all over the court.
Correction, Bosco.
That was a late call, but he corrected it straight away. So great winner.
See the very solid 1-2.
Yeah, comfortably inside on that forehand. But corrected by the line judge. Good job. And 2 game points, Glushko. Well, that's a nice solid start by Glushko.
Second set.
Very important for her to get off a good start after winning that first set and putting the pressure squarely on the lady in picture. Tikhanova trails 1-love after losing that first set, and she has everything to do in the second set.
Glushko finding herself ahead, whereas most of the first set she was behind. Only took the lead in this match at 6-5 for the first time, and securing the set at 6-5, and finds herself 1 set and 1-0 up, with Tikhanova now suddenly playing from behind in this match. Tikhanova to serve, 1-0 Glushko second set. Really good return by Glushko. Got it nice down and low to Tikhonova. Tikhonova did manage to counter punch it and get herself back into that rally, and just feeding off the pace. If you get the shot early up in high altitude, you can really create a lot of power.
30-15.
Another good serve, Tikhonova. One feels that Tikhonova really needs to play a good game just to settle herself back into the set after having lost the commanding lead in the first set.
It's okay, leave it.
That was a fantastic point by Tikhonova. A good 8,
40,
9,
15.
10 rally
Go and get the ball.
point.
Good boy.
Finishing the point with a nice down the line backhand. She had a
Good boy.
slice in the middle of that rally just for some variation. And doing a great job this game of trying to settle her nerves, get back onto the scoreboard. Good variation. A little bit of a luck
30.
with that net cord by Glushko.
Yeah, it was a good shot, and she had picked her spot. I reckon if it didn't clip the tape, it pretty much would have been a clean winner. So Tikhonova feels like fair enough. Probably would have lost the point. Yeah, that's good play.
Game.
That forehand right there, Pity,
Tikhonova.
was so much better than
One game
those
on.
others that we saw. There was a fluency in it. She released the racket. Those shoulders didn't pull up. You'll see it here. Look at that full rotation.
Yeah, for all the up-and-coming players looking at or watching this match, it's good to see even the players at this level can get a bit tight sometimes.
Yeah, I guess it's not whether you get tight, it's how you deal with it. What's your mental approach? What are your processes that you focus on?
Love 15.
We know that when the result starts affecting the mind, that's when you get tight. And if you can block out the result, which some people really struggle to do, like serving out a set, serving for a title, having a big break point, if you can just focus on the process, you will be okay. Easier said than done, but that's what these players deal with every single match.
Unforced error by Tikhonova. Yes, Mike. You know, with myself being a coach and working with young players on a daily basis, that's possibly what we speak about most, is how to deal with these tough situations and those thought processes that you go through, how to block out the end result, how to stay in the moment, play one point at a time. It really is easier said than done, but it needs to be done if you're going to be a great player one day.
It's just another tool in your bag. I mean, you might have a great forehand or a big serve. If you have that mental ability, and it's mental toughness is such a broad word. What is mental toughness? And we know what that means. It's guys that under pressure play to a level that is close to what you see when they're on the practice court, but also being able to think straight under pressure.
It's the young Radwanska that we saw there. She is a former ranked 29 player on the WTA Tour, and she lost first round in this tournament to our young Isabella Kruger in this event. Nice to see a couple of players here that's had very high rankings in the past. We see Tamaya Babos, who's a 4-time Grand Slam doubles champion, also playing this tournament. So wonderful to see some of these top players coming to play, and our players getting to play against them.
Yeah, there was Ursula. Of course, Agnieszka was as high as 3 in the world.
30-40.
In that, she was very, very, very good. on the defensive side of things. She found a way to break down some of the most powerful players in the world with her defensive game. Nice seeing Ursula out here, and looking forward to seeing her in next week's tournament. Tamia Babos, it just shows you the level of tennis, PD. 4-time Grand Slam winner, finals of Wimbledon and the US Open as well, losing in yesterday's
Game
final
Tikhonova.
of the ladies doubles.
Tikhonova leads 2 games to 1, second set.
The winners there this time
First set,
around was Chong and Wong from Hong Kong, the number 3 seeds beating the number 1 seeds. So yeah, there she's in picture again.
Well done, Mike, on your pronunciation of some of these rather difficult surnames. A lot of these ladies are from these Eastern European countries, and as South Africans, it's not easy to pronounce some of these names of these players.
Yeah, I think if we give them full credit, the number 3 seeds, Yudis Chong and Hong Yi Cody Wong.
Wow. Well, Mike, rather you than me.
Well, they lived up to their names and played some quality tennis, and a very good win over the first seeds, Tamia Babos and Savinek of Russia. So let's call it a mini upset. The number 3 seeds over the number 1 seeds in the ladies doubles. Well, just looking at those stats again, the service percentages still not where they want them, in the mid-40s. And both of these girls at this stage would love to get to that 60-65%, because in a close match like that, if you can get your first serve up to 65, you're probably going to start taking control of the match.
I've been impressed with Tikhonova, with her ability to stay calm, even though she's almost wasted an opportunity in that first set. She looks kind of calm, reserved, in control. She probably feels that she's still right in it.
That's where the experience comes in, and being the 6th seed, she's been around. She's got her ranking to 226. Well, there's a bit of defense, Pity.
Fantastic shot by Tikhonova on the defense. Glushko looking a bit tentative going up to that drive volley.
We spoke about that drive volley, but after you hit it doesn't mean the point's over. So don't assume it's a winner. Here comes the big swinging volley. Nice shot, but now you got to cover. That's good defense.
Tikhonova really picking up her game again. A little bit similar to the first set. She's gotten that important break. She's in control of this game already, trying to take the lead to 3-1. We'll have to wait and see when she gets into a leading situation whether she can improve on the previous set and keep the lead.
40 love.
Nice first serve down the tee by Tikhonova.
Couple of first serves in this game, and immediately she's on the front foot. What a nice way to consolidate the break if she can close this one out to love.
Would be great for the tournament if we can see a nice tough 3-setter, Mike, between these two players.
40-15.
That second serve, inconsistency just creeping into the Tikhonova there. Fortunately for her, it's at 40 love this time.
Yeah, we saw that yesterday a few times with some of the players as well. It's at altitude, that second serve. If you get yourself squared up and that right side comes around, you're going to struggle to make serves. The ball flies a little bit, being at altitude.
Oh, that was just a great slice played by Tikhonova. Unfortunately, just pushing the next forehand wide. But that's one of the better slices that we've seen in this match.
I'm liking this defensive play here, a little forehand slice. And that's maybe why she caught the one down the line late, just shooting off the surface a touch. So kudos to Gluchko for picking up that great slice with a little bit of a slice of her own. Nice serve to close it out. Good job. Tikhonova pulls out the big serve when she needs it. Hits her target down the tee. This is well placed. Look at that. Gets Gluchko on the full stretch. And she consolidates the break. She leads 3-1 after losing the opening set 7-5.
little bit of a momentum swing we're seeing at the moment. Tikhanova slightly in control again. Glushko just going off the ball just a bit with her quality.
Maybe Gluchko just feels that she could give her at least a 4-1 lead. I mean, that's no problem, right?
Yeah, we've seen Glushko starting many of the sets that she's played slowly, but then often finding a way back in it. Relatively sure she's not doing it on purpose, but it is happening.
Relatively sure, you say?
Excellent forehand by Tikhanova. She's got herself at 15-30. If she can find a way to get that second break, she'll put herself in a strong position in the set. Unfortunate. Good slice, good mix-up. She's starting to use that backhand slice just to get the ball to stay low.
Yeah, Gluchko here got lucky. You'll see there's a bit of a miss hit that comes up short, cross court, draws the slice, and she's unlucky. It's a good slice. Just drags it wide by a touch, and I tell you what, it would have been very effective if it caught the line. 30-all.
Oh, big serve by Glushko. Not the first time that she's done that, the last 2 days. This time going wide and just catching Tikhanova leaning in the wrong direction.
She served well to the deuce court today. She's mixed it up. There was a bit of a pattern yesterday, but she's really mixing it up today.
Just once again, Glushko just hanging in there. She was in trouble this game, and she's just found a way to sneak that service game against Tikhanova. You know, if she loses that game, she's in real trouble at 4-1. But she just keeps on hanging in there. It's just amazing the mental resilience that she has, just hanging in there in these tough situations.
Yeah, it's been very impressive. We saw it yesterday at a stage there at midway through the second. I was very convinced that Miyazaki had that under control and was pretty much just going to cruise to another 6-3 set. Didn't turn out that way. A couple of hours later, Gluchko was through to the final. Similarly, yeah, we had Tikhanova in total control of the first, and here we are in the second, where Tikhanova was threatening to take control. Just doesn't happen.
Yes, when I was also speaking to Miyazaki's coach earlier, and as we saw yesterday, as soon as one of these players are ahead in a commanding position and they need to finish the point under pressure in high altitude, and if they just have a little bit of doubt, they're starting to miss. And it just seems to me like many of these players, Mike, they would rather prefer to defend under pressure compared to be in control and have to finish the point.
And Pity, that's the reason why these players are just one step short of the big show. And we said, what do they need? Because their games are good, they've got great ground strokes, mentally showing us that they can hang in and fight and do whatever. But it's just when you get to that top level, when those players have to close out a game, close out a point, and there's an opportunity, they'd much rather be the person having to hit that shot. We know that's why Djokovic is so tough. Every time he has that opportunity, you know he's going to take it. Tiger Woods, when he had to make a putt, you were going to bet on the fact that he's the one that's going to make it, not miss it.
Yes, and Mike, I've been watching a little bit of the Miami Open yesterday. This finals with Swiatek at the moment, dominating women's tennis the last couple of weeks. And she does exactly that, like that. She's not waiting for something to happen. She's making it happen.
They make it happen. They want the pressure point. That's the only way you win, is to get an opportunity, and that opportunity brings pressure, but they want that. And in this case, you say often they'd rather be the person not serving for the set and watch the other one crumble. Where if you asked Swiatek, she'd say, I'd rather be up 5-4 and let me serve. You know, where most girls would say, put me up 5-4 and let the other one serve. That's a skill and a belief that will take you from this level to the top 100. And these girls are working on it. As we see Coach Rublev.
Well,
Just nervously looking on. She understands that her charge is not totally out of it. She had the first set and she looks like she wants to take control here again. Maybe she's on a win bonus system. We never know. You know, there might be a lot riding on this.
I tell you, Mike, these Russian moms that have been coaching a lot of these players over the years, they are quite tough on their players. Don't know if our South African youngsters would be able to handle that type of toughness.
No chance, in my mind. There's a little bit of method in the madness, but they've produced some wonderful players over the years. And as you say, typically you come to these big tournaments, and you've been there so many times, we have all these coaches with their players, and then you have the Russians with their moms who are the coaches, and they are 10 times tougher than the coaches.
Yes, Mike, it was surprising to me. I spoke to Jeremy Bates about it through the course of this week. And when I was here, I'm helping this young American girl this week as well, whenever she plays in South Africa. And I find myself and him being the oldest, most experienced coaches at this level. Whereas a lot of these young ladies are travel with quite young coaches. I don't know why that is if it's by choice or financially. But obviously some of the federations that are financially stronger, most of those that has the Grand Slams, they can afford to have better coaches at this level and being able to help them.
You know, you touched on that. I firmly believe it is a financial, to get one of the older, more experienced coaches to come at this level, your expenses just go way up through the roof. You touched on the fact that Jeremy Bates is here with Miyazaki, but her first choice coach is at Miami, which is a bigger tournament with federation players from the LTA, and that makes a difference. You know, where there's money, the best players are, but the best minds, the best coaches, the best physios, the best biokineticists, they travel with those players. And these guys at this level have budgets and money that are limited, and they have to make the best of what they have. And it's unfortunate, but it's true. And you've seen at this level when there's big federations involved that send good coaches with young players, and they don't have those constraints, the difference it's making. I think we can see in Tikhonová that the calmness that she has, things have not gone her way in this match from 4-1 in the first, that you said it, she's still calm, she still looks like she believes she's in it, and that's got to be some of that experience from Coach Rublev coming down and working. And we saw her there just encouraging, putting a word or two through the fence there, just to keep her in it. She's up 4-3, she picks up the break now, she might close, and then you get in a third and the whole game changes, because now Glutschko says, I won the first set, I was in control, now we're in the third. So Tikhonová can find herself in a better position. Slowly those first serve percentages are creeping up. We need to get to that 60% mark, but what is good, you can see Glutschko with 78% when she makes it is why she is competing in the set. We said it at the top of the broadcast that she has to serve well. She needs that first serve, it's a weapon.
Also, the unforced error count Tikhonová, it's creeping up again, already up to 17.
Yeah, and she needs to make less unforced errors than Glutschko, the same way that Glutschko needs to win a high percentage of her first serve. It's almost a must. So she'd like to trim down on the unforced errors.
Tikhonová serving at 4-3.
Yeah, and she'd like to have a nice solid service game here at 5-3. It'd be nice to throw the balls over to the other side of the court. She'll be feeling in charge. 4-3, upper break. Tikhonová serves.
La 15.
Good return, Glutschko, putting Tikhonová under pressure. It was a nice serve, but well read by the opponent. credit to Tikhanova
15
going
all.
for that second serve up the tee and making it, putting Glushko under pressure. Glushko doing well to get back into the point, but big point for Tikhanova to win, serving at 4-3. Definitely don't want to be love 30 down, and she's got herself to 15 all and in a good position.
Yeah, you saw Glushko there just taking care of her jewellery. I think she got slapped around by her jewellery on that white backhand, just tucking it into her clothing. Oh, that caught the
30,
line.
15.
Nice little body second serve, that one, just catching the line and skidding through.
Always a good tactic against the taller players with longer reach, rather to go right into the body.
Yeah, get inside that wingspan. Makes it more difficult to release that racket head.
Out.
Oh, that tentativeness
That's all.
creeping in again, just pulling out of that shot, as she did when we got into the latter stages of that first set, Mike.
Yeah, and again, it's 30 all here, but she's made 2 unforced errors off the ground strokes, and those are the 2 points that she's given to Glushko. Then she's won 2. So Glushko at this stage is just hanging around. It's 30 all, and she hasn't really done much.
Out.
Yeah, it's a good play. It's
40,
unfortunate.
30.
Moving forward this time, getting inside the court, and I liked everything about it. Maybe just not getting enough topspin on it, but a good play by Glushko. And a 30 all point is where you want to take charge. You want to make the play, and that was all good. Unfortunate that she just missed the baseline. Nice opportunity now for Tikhanova. See if she can get herself to 5-3.
That was good tennis
Yes.
by both players. Glushko doing well to hang into that point. Tikhanova mostly in control of it. But once again, just lifting that forehand a little bit long. As we seen many of the players during the course of the week, if there's a slight lack of commitment on that forehand side, in high altitude, these players will miss it on the long side. They really got to remind themselves to stay down on that shot, especially when they want to be aggressive.
Yeah, and again, it's 3 points for Tikhanova, and then she gave 3 away.
And she keeps on
Advantage
winning the
Tikhanova.
points with her serve, which is obviously not her strength, and then misses with the strength. So it's a bit upside down for her at the moment.
It's a mental thing, Pity. You're right here again. She's in charge of this game. She has the first. She makes the serve and gets into the rally. That's where she wants to be. But she has really struggled to close out. Was there a few drops coming down?
Weather prediction was somewhere between 11 and 12 for some drops.
The baseline is a little bit slippery.
Yeah, the umpire checks the lines. That's the most slippery part of the court, and it looks like he's going to call them off. He's not happy, and all it takes is one slip on the baseline, and you'll have a rolled ankle, or you'd have a muscle strain. So this could be very unfortunate because it's setting in quite heavy around the University of Pretoria. So we might see the players just leave the court for the moment. So who does this favor? Interesting time to leave the court.
It's getting heavier. I think you can...
Yes, it's difficult to say. Normally, obviously, the person that's behind in the match, it would favor. In Tikhanova's case, she seems to be in control. She's got a game point. That wouldn't be a good time to leave when you're serving, trying to get to a 5-3 lead. That'll be to a disadvantage, even though she's a set behind.
I agree. I do think, though, that if that wasn't the exact scoreline, it might be a good thing for Tikhanova. They may now speak to their coaches So she can go have a nice calm chat to Mrs. Rublev, and they can settle down and just say, look, your game plan's good, you're just not executing, making a few unforced errors. We need you to really settle down. So maybe in the overall scheme of things, as you said, she is trailing. She was dominating in the first. She's taking control of the second. This match is not over, and she could comfortably still win it in the third. Not a nice time in the game to leave the court, as you say. You're going to have to come out and make that first serve straight off the bat. But then again, maybe it's easier to make a first serve than rip a good return. Who knows?
Mike, you'll know when there's a rain delay and the players are coming off the court. The player that has the coach or the better coach that can mentally guide them and help them while they're still busy playing the match, as we see happens now, could possibly have a slight advantage just to settle the nerves. And they've seen some of their match. They've picked up a few patterns of the opponent, and they'll be able to help that player more than the other one.
100%, Pity. I fully agree with that. We've seen it many times that after a rain delay, the better team comes out on top, and I think that the coaching will play a role at this stage of the match. That's where we are. The first set went to Lena Glushko. Against the odds, we may say. Down 4-1 in the first. She now trails 3-4, but it's Tikhonova who has a game point to take a 5-3 lead. The rain is coming down at the University of Pretoria. We'll have to see how long this delay is.
Tennis South Africa is honouring a very special someone for a very special time and service to the game of tennis. It's known as the ITF Service to the Game Award, and it is with an absolute pleasure that we honour Annette du Plooy for her long service to the game of tennis.
And some chocolates. There you have it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Towards what? How's that?
Annette. Annette, are you ready for the interview?
Just count 1 up to 10 with the mic.
Must I come closer?
Yeah.
Just speak into the mic.
Hello? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, perfect.
Okay.
You'll be talking to me.
Must I look at you?
Silence, please.
Annette, congratulations, the ITF Service to the Game Award. You've done so well. You've put in so many long hours and hard work. How does it make you feel receiving this award by the President of Tennis South Africa?
Hello, everybody. As it is literally a really surprise that I didn't know that I was getting this. So this comes out of my heart. Thank you very much. Thank you to Gavin. Thank you to TSA. They've always been good to me. And thank you.
Well, it's a big thank you to you. Apart from your service to, raising the game of tennis, you were also a tennis player. Take us through some of your highlights.
Yes, I played tennis. I was in the top 8 in the world in singles. I won the Mixed Grand Slam and the French Open, and I played many years. I was a very proud South African in very difficult times, and we're in difficult times now again. I have decided to come back to my country and put back what I can. So I started a tennis school, which I'm still running at this age. I've also decided that we need more coaches. So I've spent many years as chairman of the Coaches Association trying to bring coaches and, bring them to them. And I think we've done a good job. And I'm very passionate about South African tennis, especially South African women's tennis. And I think we've come a long way. And yes, this is out of my heart. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I mean, just before I let you go, one last question. For those who are watching and wanting to be exactly like you, you're such an exceptional role model, what are some of the key qualities would you, share with us that someone needs to when it's coming to the game of tennis?
Well, as it happened, I met Zoe Kruger outside, and I saw her when she was about 6 years old, traveling with me to Sun City with tours. And what you really need is perseverance and never give up. But I think most important is have to respect for the game. If you have respect for the game and respect for yourself, you can get there. It takes a long time. It takes longer than you think, but you can get there. So I think it's keep going, and always, always, always try your best. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You have done your best for the game of tennis, and we're showing you plenty of love here. I know they say love means nothing in tennis, but we're showing you plenty of love.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, what do you need? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Welcome back to the exciting game of tennis taking place here at Tick Stadium, where it's all... Okay. 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 Well, the ITF Service to the Game Award is a very special award. It's about honoring, the selfless souls who give back to the game of tennis. They may not have been tennis players, or if they have, who understand the game and then impart their wisdom and knowledge to the younger generation. And if you look at how Tennis South Africa has come out in full force behind women's tennis to grow it at this ITF $60,000, that is what is at stake. And it has been phenomenal to see the hard work that has been going on behind the scenes. So a very special award to a very special person being honored today, and that's the ITF Long Service to Tennis Award. Yeah. Okay. Okay. He's just sorting his mic.
They said they will make a call at 2:30, unfortunately, so there are changes. The call will only be made at 2:30.